Eugene here with a review on the Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger Change Hero Series figures. Yes, friends. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at their boxes. We'll start off with the Zenkaizers box. So here's the front, and then here is the back. And so here we go with Zenkai Juran's box. Here's the front, and then here is the back. And then here is Zenkai Gaon's box. Here's the front. And then here is the back. And so here is Zenkai Magine's box. Here's the front. And then here is the back. And lastly, here is Zenkai Vroon's box. Here is the front. And then here is the back of the box. And so, friends, let's go ahead and get to it. Bust these figures out and check them. Alright, friends, so these figures are similar to the Yudo series, while they are a little different, but the biggest thing on these figures, they are fully painted. Sorta, and they are nicely articulated. As the Yudo figures, you would have to apply stickers, as these are already painted. And so, friends, the length scale of these figures stand out to be 3.5 inches tall. And so, friends, let's go ahead and take a look at the figures one by one. So here is Zenkaizer, and still loving his design, which has that mixture of Aqua Ranger and Big One. And so he does come with accessories. And so here is his cape, which is a separate piece. And so it pretty much plugs in onto the back. As you see, it's got the two peg holes back here. And so it just plugs on in like so. And so, anyway, and then he also included in his accessories is his own gear to linger. And I'm going to see if I can focus in. But as you can see, it's pretty much unpainted, but detailed on one side and hollow on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and just slip it on into his hand like so. And that's pretty much how that works. And so, friends, he isn't really fully painted. Pretty much, as you can see, the wrist cuffs and boot cuffs are pretty much painted in that nice gold and pretty much in the front. As the arm cuffs and elbow cuffs and the ankle cuffs isn't painted. Which should be a gold, but that was the same issue we had with the Sentai Hero Series final figure of Zenkaizer. Also, the antennas on the helmet are rubbery, which is something else the vinyl figure also had. But the colors on these Change Hero figures looks nice, which are bright and vibrant. And you can see the helmet looks really nice. You can see it got the number 45 in the center on the forehead there. Pretty much Zenkaizer representing the 45th Sentai. And then the gold chest armor there. And of course that very cool color pattern from the torso area to the knees. And then you can see the Zenkai buckle, which should be a silver, but it's a black on this figure. But all around nice on the front, despite the fact that missing paint on these cuff areas. But it is what it is. And then here is the back of the figure. As you can see, it looks plain in the back here. No paint whatsoever. Pretty much, which has always been an issue on the Sentai Hero Series vinyl figures. So articulation is pretty solid here, friends. And like I said, fully articulated. And so he does have head articulation, where you can swivel the head from left to right, to up and down, and of course you can do a full 360 all around with the head. And then you can do the shoulders pretty much, which move out, which rotate to a 360 there. And then this is a neat little feature here, but you can pull out the torso piece here. Must be an extra joint here. And so anyway, and of course the arms move in and then out, which is really neat here too. And then the shoulder pads are on a hinge here, so which is really neat also when you move an arms, when you do the articulation. And then pretty much here the elbows here do rotate here. And then, you know, you can do a nice little elbow bend here to like a 9 degrees here. And of course, you can rotate the wrist here. And so anyway, he's got some nice waist rotation here. And then the legs can move forward and back and outward, kind of like where he can do some nice little splits. And then he's got like a little thigh rotation here, if I can do it without messing up. But right here. And then he's got some nice knee movement here. Pretty much moving all the way back to 90 degrees back here. And my favorite part of this figure here is he does have a ball joint for some really nice ankle tilts, which he can do some really cool hero poses that Zenkaizer can actually do. And so, you know, pretty much something like this. And let me put my camera down for a second here. Just a little nice little awesome little pose of him. Kind of like him stooping down a little bit like that. Something like that. But a lot of neat little poses you can actually do with Zenkai. Next, here is Zenkai Juran, and friends, still love his design, which the robo form based off of Eugene, which he represents, and Zyuran was the 16th Sentai. And so, anyway, he's got this little bitty block piece that's pretty much part of his accessories, but it pretty much plugs into his back, and mainly for his transformation to Kikai mode, but you pretty much plug it in on the top peg hole right here, so we'll do that right now. And then another part of his accessory is pretty much, well, his personal weapon, the Juran sword, which is not painted, but all in red, and has a detail side and a halo side. So I'll go ahead and put it in his hand. And it pretty much just fits in just fine here, like so. And so, anyway, well, friends, I gotta say this now. My favorite part of these figures, that the hero modes look more like the suits, pretty much the suits on the show, but these look better than the DX ones that came out of these Zenkaio sets. But these here can only transform into the Kikai modes and not the big robo forms. So anyway, get a little close up. Juran looks good overall, nicely painted. Look at the face sculpt, looking nice. The little T-Rex head looks good and everything. He's got his little V mark in gold there. And look at the nice painted detailings on this figure here. And then there's the little dinosaur emblem there. And then on the back, pretty much not too spectacular about the back. You can see some little hollow sides, but overall, and like I said, Juran looks nice overall. And just to let you know, Zenkaizer is the only one that doesn't transform, being the only human of the team. So here's a close-up of Zenkai Juran's face here. Pretty much just want to get a close-up of the number 16 that's on his forehead. Pretty much like I said, the robo form based off of Eugene. So anyway, so articulation wise, friends, I can do a full 360 in the head here. And then got some nice shoulder articulation, which can do a full 360 all around here. And you can move the arms in and then out. And then you can bend the elbows here, which can do like a 90-degree bend here. And you can rotate them as well here. And so no wrist articulation, sadly. But he does have some nice waist articulation here. And then, of course, on the feet, you can the legs pretty much can move out and then in and into the side here, where you can kind of do some nice little splits. And anyway, and he also has a nice knee movement here, and of course you can do some rotation in the knees as well here with some knee articulation. And then, of course, again, here's my favorite part of the figure here, but he does have a ball joint in his feet here, where he can do some nice little ankle tilts, and pretty much little tilts that Juran can actually do in posing. So these molds here, friends, are designed to come apart, mainly on the Kikainoids, because they transform into their Kikai modes. And so let's take the sword out. And pretty much to begin this transformation of Juran Tyranno. And so anyway, let me fix his arm here. And so we'll go ahead now and rotate the head back like so here. And then we'll fold the arms back. And now let me make sure the other one's straight as well. So same thing with the other side as well. Then we'll go ahead and take this backpack piece off. And it will come back on a little later on. And so now we'll go ahead and detach the chest piece and the legs. Then we'll go ahead and bring the backpack piece again. And this time we'll plug it into this bottom peg hole, like so. And then we'll go ahead now and detach the legs off of this piece here that has the V mark. Now this piece here with the V mark will pretty much peg in underneath here, like so. And here we go with the legs. The legs pretty much just peg back on in, and so this is a little peg it pegs onto. So we'll peg it onto this one. And this one as well. And let me make sure we're all straight here. And so anyway, I'm going to try to see if I can get the legs to position out now, make it more like a T-Rex pose here. Okay, and so let me inch my camera a little bit here. And the last thing we have to do here is pretty much peg the Juran sword into the back here, which will become the tail, of course. And so we are pretty much done here, friends. So here is Juran Tyranno. And oops, he is falling apart. Now, the one thing I noticed, and it's pretty much the pegs here, and this is the reason why I had to cut. But anyway, I'm going to take these off. I'm going to show you this. But this peg for the T-Rex mode are just so small that they're going to not hold. And of course, the pegs for where the V mark are a little bit longer. I don't know if you noticed that, but this is the one issue I see with this mode here, and it's pretty mainly the legs here. But honestly, I'm not really a fan of this, especially in this figured standard here. But in a way, friends, I'm gonna say this, but I feel the DX version looks better, but I feel the hero mode of this is better of Zenkai Juran. So next here is Zenkai Gaon, and so as I mentioned in the Zenkaiger Gaon review, the robot form based off of Gao King, which he represents, and Gao Ranger was the 25th Sentai. But I dig this design in the change hero standard, as again, as I mentioned with Juran, looks more like the suit on the show. And so anyway, so with his accessories, he does come with this little block piece, something that's similar that Juran got, but you peg it on that very top hole there. And then he comes with his own personal weapon. He's got his Gaon Claw, which is pretty much all in silver, and so pretty much does peg into the little shoulder piece right here. And so we'll do it like so here. And so anyway, so here he is. I'm going to raise up my camera and I'm going to get a little close up here. You can see he's got on his forehead the number 25. But overall, his design looks really, really good here. I mean, pretty much kind of like the same mode as Juran, and mainly in the Change Hero series. And then here is the back. And so real quickly, I'll go ahead and get Juran out for a second here, just to show you the difference. How similar the molds look a little bit here. Let me fix them up a little bit here. There we go. And so as you can see, pretty much the molds look the same, you know. And of course, they got the same kind of little square block for whenever they do their little Kikai modes. So articulation wise, friends, well, head pretty much does a full 360 all around. And then the shoulders, we have a nice little rotation that does a full 360 in the shoulders there. And you know, of course, we have the arms that goes out and in, really neat there. And then the elbows, we got some nice elbow bent here, and pretty much does like a 90 degrees here. And we got some nice elbow rotation here. And so sadly, no wrist articulation, but we do have some nice waist articulation here. And of course, the legs, you pretty much can go forward and then back and to the side, kind of like him doing some nice little splits. And so anyway, got some nice knee bends here, pretty much a 90-degree angle here. And of course, you can rotate the knees like so. And lastly, my favorite thing here is they have a ball joint here. So pretty much we got some nice little ankle tilts that we can do here. which I am very, very thankful here. So you can pretty much do some nice ankle tilts that Gaon can actually do in posing here. Now to his Kinkai mode, known as Gaon Lion. And so pretty much we'll go ahead and take the Gaon Claw. And then pretty much we'll just go ahead and take the head off. And pretty much detach him, dismantle him pretty much, mainly with the chest and the legs. And then this backpack piece here, since it's on the very top peg hole here, it goes on the bottom peg hole, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and take the head of Zenkai Gaon and pretty much peg it underneath here, which makes sense because Juran didn't do that. And so anyway, we'll go ahead now and pretty much peg the back legs in and get them positioned for the lion leg position, like so. And then we'll go ahead and take these shoulder bits and pretty much we'll just flip-flop them around pretty much. So we'll just flip them over to where the lion legs would be, you know, the paw part be down like. And same thing with the other side here. And so, and lastly, here is the Gaon Claw. Of course, the Gaon Claw goes up here. So we just peg it in like so. And so here you go. And I forgot to show you this, but here is the lion emblem there on the side of the leg here, which looks really nice there. But anyway, whoops. And so here is Gaon Lion. And I gotta say, I prefer this one than Juran Tyranno. And one thing I do want to clarify also, that my Zenkai Gaon is missing a piece. And it's this little piece right here. And it came to me like this. But pretty much on the other side, it's this yellow piece here by the back leg. So you can see what is missing on this side. And so it was never in the box. So anyway, so like I said, here it is. And I mean, really, really different here. I mean, and I'll inch the camera down a little bit. But either way, it's your choice if you want to have these arms showing. But I feel, in a way, you can do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Have the arms go back a little bit. That'll show less of it, you know, showing the lion legs more than, you know, the, Zenkai Gaon's arms. So, but anyway, so yeah, here he is, and he looks absolutely. So here we go with Zenkai Magine, and friends, I feel she looks better in this figure standard, but the DX one had a lot of transformation features. And so again, her robot form is based off of Magic King, which she represents, and Magic Ranger was the 29th Sentai. A little close-up of her face. But as you can tell by her face, she looks a little different as she is missing some gold paint on the face. And then right there in the center of her forehead there, she's got the number 29. And so anyway, so here are some accessories that come with Magine. Got this little backpack piece which plugs onto the back, pretty much, which is a backpack of dragon legs here. And so we'll just plug it into the back like so. And then she also comes with her own, Then she also comes with her personal weapon, which is the Magine stick, which is all in pink. So I'm going to go ahead now and put it in her hand like so. There. And so I'm going to be honest with you, friends, but she looks cool. And I feel the body of this section here reminds me of Magi Fairy from Magic Ranger in the Change Hero figure standard here. So, you know, there's that nice M in gold there. And then her feet look nice. And then here's a back view of her. Now she got the backpack, which is dragon legs. So articulation, the head can rotate doing a full 360. And then the arms can do a full 360 as well. Just watch out for that backpack in the back. And of course, you know, without the backpack, you can do it this way, even though without hitting the legs like so. And she's also got a hinge for the dragon wings here, so they can pretty much go up and down. And then she's got some nice elbow rotation here. And of course, a nice elbow bend here. Sadly, there is no wrist movement. But of course, she's got some nice waist rotation here. And of course, her little skirt here does move. It's got a little articulation. It can swivel. And the legs. The legs can pretty much, and I'm going to have to raise up the skirt here, but the legs can go forward and back. And she can, of course, do some nice splits. And she's got some nice knee movement here, and the knees can rotate. And of course, the last thing I like about these figures, of course, the ankles. They got a little ball joint in the ankles to where these figures here can do some very nice ankle tilts. And pretty much in Majine's case, where she can do some really nice ankle tilts. So now to her Kikai mode, and so pretty much we'll go ahead and remove the head, remove the Magine stick, and then we'll go ahead and remove her backpack, and then we'll go ahead and pretty much just separate the body from the legs. And so how this works is pretty much we'll just go ahead and have the arms positioned this way now, and of course the wings will be positioned this way now. And of course the arms, pretty much the elbows here, you just bend the elbows down like so, and same thing with the other one. And so there's the part of the body of the dragon. And so this little piece here, we're going to go ahead and pretty much we're just going to rotate the legs just to pretty much have it ready in position. Well, let me get it like so. So something like this way, and it pretty much just pegs into the back like so. Now, here we go with the Magine stick and her head here. Pretty much, it's very simple here, and this is a neat little feature here where you can just hide the head underneath the tail like so. And then we'll just go ahead and plug it into the back. And so there is part of her body. Now let's go ahead and get her head. So pretty much the legs here, they pretty much clamshell together. So let's go ahead and just clam them up together like so. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and peg it onto the body. And so here you go. Here is Magine Dragon. And so I gotta say, I love this. And the one thing I'm very impressed here is thanks to this leg articulation of Zenkai Magine, you can pretty much, and I'm gonna raise up this little skirt piece, you can pretty much just raise up her head a little bit, kind of like what a dragon does. But I gotta say, out of all of the Change Hero series figures, this one here takes the cake here. I mean, it's very nicely done. One thing I want to add here, friends, is that the jaw of the dragon does not open. But again, like I said, she looks cool, and here's a bottom view and a top view. So like I said, cool overall. And finally, here is Zenkai Vroon. So the last of the core 5 members of Zenkaiger. And so again, the Change Hero series figures looks better than the DX one. So of course, this piece right here plugs into the back. And of course, he comes with his own personal weapon, which is the Vroon Picker. In blue, and it's nice and detailed on one side, and it's hollow on the other side. And so we'll go ahead now and just put it in his hand here, like so. And so, anyway, as I mentioned before, Zenkai Vroon's robot form is based off of Daiboken, and of course, Bokenger was the 30th Sentai. So overall, the figure looks nice in the front here. Get a little close-up of his forehead. You can see he's got the number 30. As you know, Bokenger was the 30th Sentai. Everything looks nice here, chest-wise here. The grills look nice and everything. The paint looks really nice here. That's the one thing I noticed about these figures here is the paint is superb on these figures. And then here is the back. You can see the head's all hollow in the back. The legs are all hollow in the back, and the waist, the torso area, all hollow. But anyway, and one thing I'm going to also mention here, but as you can see here, the wheels, you can see it's painted on the outside and not painted in the inside. And of course, here's the one issue we have, but no working wheels on this guy here, which is a total bummer. So articulation, well, the head rotates doing a full 360. And the arms can rotate doing a full 360 as well here. And of course, you got some nice elbow rotation here. And of course, can do a nice elbow bend here. And of course, the arms are they can move in and they can move out. And of course, got some nice waist movement here. Sadly, there is no wrist rotation here. And got some nice articulation in the legs, where the legs can move forward and back and outward, you know, pretty much doing some splits. And then of course got some nice knee movement here, and of course got some nice knee rotation here. But sadly here, friends, this figure here doesn't have no ankle tilts, no ball joint here like the other four had. But anyway, so of course this guy here is a brick pretty much. Now to his Kinkai mode, and so pretty much we'll remove the head, and then this backpack piece in the back, as well as the Vroon picker, and then we'll go ahead and detach the chest and the legs. And so pretty much here we're going to flip it this way now, because you can see the grills are facing differently, and we'll just go ahead and position the arms like so. And then we'll go ahead now and take this piece here, and we'll peg it underneath here. And then the legs. The legs are pretty much easy here. All you gotta do is just fold them like so and have them together like so. And then I'm gonna go ahead and clip the Vroon picker on the top, which has these little bitty grips up there, and we'll just push it in. And so now we'll go ahead and just put the legs, we'll peg the whole entire piece of the legs and the chest back together, pretty much in a different formation here. And so, anyway, and the last thing we got to do here is put Vroon's head underneath here. Whoops. Okay, there we go. And so here you go. Here is Vroon in his Kinkai mode, known as Vroon Dump. And so let me inch on down here. And so, like I said, he pretty much doesn't have any working wheels here, sadly, which is a bummer here. But he's pretty much a brick, but he stays together very well here, even though I had a little issue when putting this thing together. But anyway, so here he is. Get a little close-up of him. It was a little simpler than the other ones so far, but anyway, like I said, he is a pure brick here. And, you know, getting him positioned, everything takes a little time. Mainly with all these little change hero figures, but they're still cool in my opinion here. Final thoughts. Well, these figures are cool, and still loving the fact that the suits of the Kikainoids are accurate to the show of these figures, and the articulation on these is solid. And for the price you pay for these, I would say yes, I would definitely 100% recommend these. If you want a full Zenkaiger team, then go pick these up if they are still available. And yes, friends, still loving this toy line so far. And so good luck in trying to find these. I mean, they're still on various sites like HLJ, Ami, Mandrake, and so on. So all I gotta say is, friends, good luck and happy hunting. And so, friends, that is it for this review. Please check out my blog from the next book, and make sure, friends, you hit that bell. I'm going to upload a new video. And of course, my friends, this review on the Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger Change Hero Series figures. I hope you enjoy. Well, friends, I'm Eugene. I'm signing out today, and my friends, I most assuredly see you next time. Bye, friends.